Hey class, hi, hello, namaste, adab, sat sri akal, assalamu alaikum, vanakkam and khamma gani to all of you. Welcome to today's class guys, and today is your Prodigy series for CBSE 10th, and the topic for today is polynomials. Alright, so this is the first session of topic polynomials. As you all know guys, we have already completed the first session, that is the real numbers, and we are starting polynomials today. And in this I will be revising what you have studied in your grade 9, so introduction, plus one topic, that is geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial. So I hope all of you are very excited, and let's start the class. All right, so introduction means I'll just revise what you have learned in your grade 9. So first thing beta, we have learned about polynomial. What is a polynomial? So it is an algebraic expression which includes constant variables and exponents. The most important thing is variables have only positive integral powers, or power of the variable is a whole number. Understand this thing, this is the main condition. Power of the variable is a whole number. Power of variable is a whole number. Actually, positive integral powers here, 0 is also allowed. So I will say variables have only whole number powers. All right, positive integer will not be correct because 0 is also allowed. All right, variables power can be 0 as well. So power of the variable must be a whole number. This is the condition. That means beta, power cannot be negative, power cannot be in fraction. It must be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So since power cannot be negative, remember one more thing in this, that division by variable is not allowed. Division by variable is not allowed in polynomials. So in polynomials, remember guys, variable will never be in the denominator. If variable is in the denominator, that is not a polynomial, it is only an algebraic expression. Got it? So here I can say, suppose 4x cube plus 3x square plus x plus 3. So I will look at the powers of the variable. Please make sure you understand, only the power of the variable I am talking. The numbers, the coefficient, they can have any power. Coefficients can be fraction, negative, irrational, anything, we don't mind. Only thing is power of the variable. So here power of the variable is 3, here it is 2, here it is 1, here it is 0. So it will be a polynomial. Same way, suppose this is not a polynomial because power is negative, and here power is fraction, so this is also not a polynomial. Got it? So only first case is a example of a polynomial. All right guys, so this is the definition of polynomials. Now different parts, so there is coefficient, number which we multiply with the variable is called coefficient. Then there are different operations, plus, minus. All right, then expressions means without equal sign. If equal sign is there, that is called equations. Constant means which do not have any variable part with them. All right, so we all know this basic terms. Now comes the part of degree of the polynomial. Now degree of the polynomial, very easy meaning, it is the highest power of the variable. Please remember, once we got to know that a given expression is a polynomial, suppose this is a polynomial. All right, 4x cube plus 3x square plus x plus 3. So if I have to check, I will look at the power of the variables. Power of variable is 3. Here it is 2. Here it is 1. Here it is 0. Why I am saying power 0 over there? Because 3, I can write it as 3 into 1. 3 into 1 is what? 3 only. And 1 I can write as x raised to the power 0. So when the variable is not present, I will say power is 0 over there. That is why I have told you power of the variable must be a whole number, because 0 is also there. Whenever you have a constant number, power of the variable is 0. All right. Now in all these terms, which term has the highest power of the variable? That is x cube. 3 is the highest power. So degree for this polynomial is 3. Here highest power is 1. Here highest power is 2. So that is called degree. All right. Now the types of polynomial on the basis of degree. So we have constant polynomial. Constant polynomial in which the degree of the polynomial is 0. Constant polynomial means degree of the polynomial is 0. So it consists of all the constant numbers. Any constant number will work over here. In constant polynomial, there is one more category, that is zero polynomial, and zero polynomial includes 0. So here remember, degree of zero polynomial is not defined. Degree of zero polynomial is not defined. Then comes linear polynomial. So linear polynomial will be degree 1, quadratic is degree 2, cubic is degree 3. Then basis on the number of terms, if there is only one term, irrespective of the power, I'm not looking at the power, if there is only one term, monomial, two terms, binomial, three terms, trinomial. Also one more thing beta, after cubic, suppose degree 4, we call it quadratic. Then there are other names, but those are not important at all. So we'll generally refer it as degree 5 equation or degree 5 polynomial, degree 6 polynomial, like that. Alright, so this you have studied in your grade 9. Then comes zeros of a polynomial. Zeros of a polynomial, we know beta, those values of x for which value of the polynomial becomes 0. For example, if I give you a polynomial as suppose say 3x plus 2. Now 0 of this polynomial, 0 of px will be that value of x, for which px will be equal to 0. What is px? 3x plus 2. Make 3x plus 2 equal to 0. So you'll get x is equal to minus 2 by 3. So when you will put x equal to minus 2 by 3 in the polynomial, the value will be 0. So you can clearly see in this, I can clearly say value of this polynomial at x equal to minus 2 by 3 will be equal to 3 into minus 2 by 3 plus 2. This to this got cancelled. 3 minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. So value of the polynomial at x equal to minus 2 by 3 is equal to 0. That is why it is called 0 of the polynomial. Please better remember, 0 of the polynomial is very important thing for us. It is very important for us to find out that at what values of the variable, value of the polynomial becomes 0. It is very important, and the topic which we will be studying today, that is graphical representation of zeros. In that also zeros of the polynomial is an important topic. So I hope that is clear. Value of the variable for which value of the polynomial is equal to 0. Alright, then we have learned remainder theorem. So remainder theorem helped us to find out the remainder. So if I am dividing any polynomial px with some, say, a polynomial gx, alright, and if I ask you what is the remainder, so this you can easily solve using remainder theorem. Only important thing is we want this polynomial gx to be a linear polynomial. This divisor must be a linear polynomial. Alright beta, this divisor must be a linear polynomial. Let's say this gx is in the form of x minus a. This is suppose the form. So what you will do, step 1, make gx equal to 0. So x minus a equal to 0, you will get x equal to a. And step 2, you can directly find out the remainder by finding out the value of the dividend, that is this px, at the value of x which you have got it in the first step. So pa. This will give you your remainder. Remainder theorem is an important theorem. Please revise it once. There are some questions in your grade 9th also. You can refer those questions. Easy theorem. From remainder theorem beta, we go for the next theorem, which is a factor theorem. So we got to know that suppose remainder will be we have got, suppose if I am doing px divided by gx. So and let's say gx is, let's say, x minus a. Alright. So let's say px, I am dividing it with x minus a. So I know beta, in this case remainder will be equal to step 1, make divisor equal to 0. So x is equal to a, and remainder will be equal to the value of the dividend at x equal to a. So we know remainder is p of a. है ना beta? Now suppose I know what is a factor. Factor means this x minus a completely divides. This x minus a completely divides the polynomial px. This x minus a completely divides the polynomial px. So completely divides means what? Remainder 0. So for x minus a to be a 0, or so for say for x minus a to be a factor of this polynomial px, if we want x minus a to be a factor of this polynomial px, we want remainder to be equal to 0. That means p of a must be equal to 0. So from here we get to know that if x minus a is a factor of p, x minus a will be a factor of px if pa is equal to 0. Simple, we are making remainder 0. So this is like just one special case of remainder theorem. I am saying x minus a will be factor if remainder is 0. Remainder is equal to pa, so pa must be equal to 0. Alright, but from here we get a very important connection, that if pa is 0, x minus a is a factor. So we got to know that if x equal to a is a 0, x minus a is a factor. That is a very important thing which we learn from factor theorem. Then we have learned factorization of the polynomials, in which the most important thing was splitting the middle term. Alright, so in this what we'll do, suppose if I have a quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, I will split this in two numbers such that the sum of those two numbers should be equal to b and their product should be equal to a into c. That is the main logic. Alright beta, this is what till now whatever I have told you, this all you have already studied. You have already studied in your grade 9. Now come to our next topic, which is very important, that is geometrical meaning of the zeros of a polynomial. Now beta, understand it once, and I'm telling you this topic you'll be remembering it throughout, you'll never forget it. It is that easy. Try to understand this. Beta dekho, suppose if I give you a polynomial px, how do we draw the graph of this polynomial? So let's say this is the graph. By beta, I need x coordinate and y coordinate both. So let's say I have given you a polynomial that is, let's say, x plus 4. That is, let's say, or x minus 4. Let's put it x minus 4. Or we'll keep the value small only, x minus 2. This is a polynomial x minus 2, and now we will draw the graph of it. All right, so we will find out the value of the polynomial. So here I will write the value of x, and here I will write the value of the polynomial px. All right, if I put x equal to minus 2 beta, here value of the polynomial at x equal to minus 2 will be minus 2 minus 2, which is minus 4. If I put x equal to minus 1, value of the polynomial will be minus 3. If I put x equal to 0, value of the polynomial, put x equal to 0 in this, 0 minus 2 is minus 2. If I put x equal to 1, 1 minus 2 is minus 1. If I put x equal to 2, value of the polynomial will be 0. X equal to 3, value of the polynomial will be 1, and so on. So these are some of the points which I have got for this graph. But if I have to plot these values on the graph, what we do, we write the value of the variable. We write the value of the variable on x-axis, and value of the polynomial on y-axis. Value of the variable on x-axis and value of the variable value of the polynomial on y-axis. So that is why we'll say y coordinate is nothing but value of the polynomial. Y coordinate is nothing but value of the polynomial. Alright, beta, if I give you these values over here, and if I ask you, looking at these values, which value of x is the 0 of this polynomial? For what value of x, or what is the value of x, or what is the 0 of this polynomial px? So you'll clearly see value of the polynomial becomes 0 at x equal to 2. So you can clearly say it will be a 0 of the polynomial. X equal to 2 is a 0 of this polynomial. Simple. Alright. Now how do we find out 0? By looking at graph. That is what we are going to find out now. So as I have told you beta, x coordinate value of the variable, y coordinate value of the polynomial. So x comma y, if I will do first coordinate minus 2 comma minus 4, minus 1 comma minus 3, 0 comma minus 2, 1 comma minus 1, 2 comma 0, and 3 comma 1. Let's plot all of them. All right, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4. All right, first point is minus 2 comma minus 4, x coordinate minus 2, y coordinate minus 4, so it is something over here. All right, then minus 1 comma minus 3, minus 1 comma minus 3, x coordinate minus 1, y coordinate minus 3 will be over here. All right, then x coordinate minus 1, I'll use a different pen so that we can see it carefully. Okay, this is first coordinate, this is second coordinate. Then x coordinate 0, y coordinate minus 2 is over here. X coordinate 1, y coordinate minus 1 is over here. X coordinate 2, y coordinate 0 is over here. X coordinate 3, y coordinate 1 is over here. So if I join all of them, I have got a line. If I join all of them, I have got the straight line. So this straight line represents the graph of Px is equal to x minus 2. This straight lines represents the graph of Px is equal to x minus 2. Now student, try to understand, try to understand this thing. Yeah, when I asked you to find out the zero of this polynomial by looking at these values, what you looked for? You looked for those values of x for which Px is equal to zeros. All right, we know value of x for which Px equal to 0 gives you your zeros of the polynomial. है ना? Simple. So you saw 0 value of x, value of Px equal to 0 is at x equal to 2. Simple. Beta, when I look at the graph, understand, when I look at the graph, value of the polynomial Px is represented on y-axis, so I can say for 0 of a polynomial, for 0 of polynomial Px, I want y coordinate to be equal to 0. By wherever y coordinate is equal to 0, that means value of polynomial is also equal to 0. Simple or not? है ना? Because we are representing on y coordinate value of the polynomial. So value of the polynomial is 0 where y coordinate is 0. And where is y coordinate 0? Y coordinate is 0 on x-axis. All of us know that really well, that any point on x-axis has y coordinate 0. Here also you can see this point is what? 2, 0. So here y coordinate is 0. So from here beta, we get to know that if we draw, try to understand, if we draw the graph of a polynomial, all right, so in that case, wherever the graph intersects the x-axis, wherever the graph intersects the x-axis, that point will tell us that there is a 0. All right, so on that point we'll get to know there is 1 0, and the 0 of that polynomial will be the value of x coordinate. So x equal to 2 is a 0 of Px. Got it? This is the concept. Easily told, this is the concept. Since we plot the graph, so y coordinate is equal to value of the polynomial. So if I have to find out the 0, I want those values of x for which Px equal to 0. Px equal to 0 means what? Y coordinate equal to 0, and y coordinate is 0 on x-axis. That is why we'll see where the graph intersects with x-axis. As simple as that. Alright beta. Now suppose if I give you another graph, like this over here, okay, let's say this is one graph I'm giving you over here. Alright, and in this case I draw the graph of the polynomial something like this, let's say. Now if I say this is, let's say, point minus 2 comma 0, and let's say this is a point 3 comma 0. All right, now if I ask you beta, how many zeros exist? All right, how many zeros exist for this polynomial? It is very easy to find out. Simple thing, look at the intersection point with x-axis. So there are two point of intersection. So we will say there exist two zeros. There exist two zeros. And what will be those values of 0? By x equal to -2 and x equal to 3. X equal to -2 and x equal to 3. This is the whole concept. All right. ठीक है बेटा. तो भी please remember this thing. For a linear polynomial, the graph is a straight line. Okay. And for a quadratic polynomial, the graph is a parabola. And which shape is parabola? Do you know? This shape, this U shape is called parabola. So for a quadratic polynomial, the graph is a parabola. Now they can give you graph in any shape, and they will ask you how many zeros exist. Remember the number of points of intersection of the graph with x-axis. Okay, so number of zeros. How can you find out number of zeros? By looking at graph. So it is very easy. Number of points of intersection. Number of points of intersection of the graph of polynomial px with which axis beta? X-axis. All right, with x-axis, because on x-axis only y coordinate is equal to 0. All right. And if I ask you the value of zeros of polynomial, if I ask you value of zeros of polynomial, what will be the values of zeros of the polynomial? In that case, you will say it will be x coordinates of the points of intersection with x-axis. Okay, so at those point of intersection with x-axis, wherever the graph is intersecting, at that point, whatever is the x coordinate, that will be the zero of the polynomial. This is the concept. All right, so I hope it is clear. If you understand this thing, then when we plot the graph, on y coordinate we put the values of the polynomial, and x coordinate we put the values of variable. So to get the zero of the polynomial, we want value of the polynomial to be equal to 0. That means y coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is 0 on x-axis. As simple as that. Bus. Nothing else you have to do. So rest everything which is here will only tell you that where the graph is 0. Suppose this is the graph given over here. So I will say 3 point of intersection. 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 zeros. Simple. Here how many zeros? Ab dekho beta, in some cases na, the graph just touches the polynomial. Suppose as in here, the graph is coming down, it touches the x-axis, and then goes back ahead like this, suppose. So here this considered as 1 0, and this will be considered as the second 0. So here 1, 2 and 3 zeros for this polynomial as well. Here how many? So only 1 0. Here nowhere else it is touching. So only 1 0 for this polynomial. You just have to look at the points of intersection with x-axis, nothing else. And here values of zeros will be x equal to 0. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, I made it wrong. This is not a 0. I am showing you this point. There are 2 zeros. Alright, here 2 zeros we have, x equal to 0 and x equal to 2. Here 3 zeros, x equal to -2, x equal to, I think it is between somewhere 0 and 1. Alright, between 0 and -1. So between 0 and -1 somewhere, not clear. Alright, and x equal to 3. Alright, and here only 1 0, that is x equal to -3, and between -3 and -4, let's say -3.5. Simple. This is what they are going to ask you in this topic. Alright, so in general, given a polynomial px of degree n, the graph of y equal to px intersect the x-axis at most n points. So achha, one more thing which is very important beta, try to understand that the graph is like, suppose if we have a polynomial of degree n. Alright, if we have a polynomial of degree n, alright, so we can say maximum number of zeros. How many zeros it can have? So maximum number of zeros will be equal to n. That means a cubic polynomial can have maximum 3 zeros. A quadratic polynomial can have maximum 2 zeros. A linear polynomial can have maximum 1 zero and so on. Alright. Okay, so this is what topic which I have to tell you today, the graphical representation. So I hope all of you enjoyed it, and now we will solve some questions related to it. Before I solve it, let me tell you about Vedantu Pro subscription. So it is a very good opportunity for all of you to join Vedantu Pro subscription right now, because at this moment you should not compromise with your education. And also for those students who are still skeptical about online education, we are coming with Vedantu's improvement promise. And under this promise, we take the full ownership and full guarantee of your education, and we say that you will definitely improve in your studies. We take the full ownership of your studies and we say you will definitely improve. So the features of this Vedantu Pro subscription course are: you will get unlimited live classes, all right, then you'll be able to interact with the students from different parts of the world. You can watch, while watching the replay also you can attend the quiz and see your name in the leaderboard, so you'll not feel bored even while watching the recording, because you can participate in the recording as well by attempting the quizzes. You'll get notes, quality tests and assignments, and also to take care of your doubts there will be dedicated teacher in the class to take care of your doubts in the real time. We don't want our students doubts to go unresolved. All right, and then other than that, it's not like you can complete your syllabus only once. There are unlimited micro courses, so you can study a topic as many times as you want and as many times you can revise it. And there are free revision courses, that is crash courses also, so no need to pay anything extra for all of this. So remember, less price, more classes. So don't forget to visit the link which is mentioned in the description box of this video as well as in the pinned comment, and the coupon code is GPE Pro. Alright guys, now let's solve some questions. The first question is: check whether 7 plus 3x is a factor of 3x cube plus 7x. So whenever I have to check that whether 7 plus 3x is a factor, I know using factor theorem. What does factor theorem tells us, beta? Factor theorem tells us that if x equal to a, or we can say if PA is equal to 0, then x minus a is a factor. All right, so what we'll do first, we need to find out the value of a. So they are saying, suppose if I'm dividing, what I'm doing over here, 3x cube plus 7x, I'm dividing it with 3x plus 7. All right, and I have to find out that whether this 3x plus 7 is a factor or not. So beta, I know for factor remainder must be 0. So step 1, make 3x plus 7 equal to 0. So I will set x is equal to minus 7 by 3. Step 2, make remainder equal to 0. So let's find out remainder, we know will be equal to value of the dividend at x is equal to, in place of x I have to write minus 7 by 3, at x equal to minus 7 by 3. Okay, so minus 7 by 3. So I'm using remainder theorem and I'm just checking whether remainder is 0 or not. All right, so p of minus 7 by 3 will be equal to what? So it is 3 into minus 7 by 3 whole cube plus 7 into minus 7 by 3. All right, so it will be 3 into minus 7 by 3 whole cube. So minus 7 whole cube, 7 cube will be 343 upon this will be 9. So minus 343 upon 9, and here it is minus 7 into minus 7 is minus 49 by 3. Now clearly beta, it is both negative, so it is not equal to 0. Remainder is not equal to 0, so we can say 3x plus 7 is not a factor. Since remainder is not 0, it is not a factor. As simple as that. Next question, find the value of this polynomial. Polynomial is what? 5x minus 4x square plus 3. This is the polynomial, and they are saying find out its value at first x equal to 0. So p of 0 will be 5 into 0 minus 4 into 0 square plus 3. So 0, 0, this is equal to 3. Second one, at x equal to minus 1. So p of minus 1 will be 5 into minus 1 minus 4 into minus 1 square plus 3. So 5 into minus 1 is minus 5. Minus 1 square is 1. 1 into minus 4 is minus 4 plus 3, which is equal to minus 6. Alright, and the third one, x equal to 2. So P of 2 will be equal to 5 into 2 minus 4 into 2 square plus 3. So 5 2s are 10. 2 square is 4 into minus 4 is minus 16 plus 3. So 10 plus 3 is 13 minus 16 is minus 3. So P of 2 is equal to minus 3. Value of the polynomial we have found out. Okay. Next question. Show that 5 is a 0 of this polynomial. अब देखो बेटा, if I have to show that 5 is a 0, I can say, suppose this is a polynomial px. So 2x cube minus 7x square minus 16x plus 5. So 5 equal to 0. That means let's check the value of p at 5, at x equal to 5. So it will be 2 into 5 cube minus 7 into 5 square minus 16 into 5 plus 5. So it is 2 into 5 cube is 125 minus 7 into 25 minus 16 into 5 plus 5. So 2 into 125 is 250. 7 into 25 will be equal to minus 175. 16 into 5 is minus 80 plus 5. So we have got 255 minus, if I will add 80 in this, so 3, yeah, it will be also minus 255, which is equal to 0. So since P of 5, value of the polynomial at 5 equal to 0, so we can say x equal to 5 is a 0 of Px. Yeah, see, first session, very easy, very easy. Next question, use factor theorem to determine whether dx is a factor of Px. If Px is given as this, gx is this. So for factor beta, I have to check remainder must be equal to 0. Alright, so step 1, make gx equal to 0. So x minus 3 is equal to 0. We have got x equal to 3. Step 2, find out the, we can say remainder is equal to value of the polynomial dividend px at x equal to 3. So it will be 3 cube minus 4 into 3 square plus 3 plus 6, which is 27. 3 cube 27. 3 square is 9 into 4. So minus 36 plus 3 plus 6 is 9. So 27 plus 9 is 36 minus 36, which is equal to 0. And since remainder is equal to 0, that means guys, I can say gx is a factor of px. As simple as that. Easy question, right? And these questions are very easy. Next question. The graph of y equal to px is given in the figure below. Find the number of zeros of px. अब देखो बेटा, this is the graph of px. अब देखो, I can clearly say this graph is not intersection with x-axis. I will say no zeros because the graph is not intersecting with x-axis. Here this graph is intersecting at one point, so I can say 1 0. And here this graph is intersecting at 1 2 3 4, so I can say 4 zeros. These kind of questions are there in your board examination, trust me. Number of zeros you have to find out, nothing else. All right, so in first case no zero, in second case 1 0, and in third case 4 zeros. All right, now this is your homework. All right bachcho, this is your homework. Factorize 2x square plus 7x plus 3. Do let me know what is your answer, and I will write the name of the students who have given me the correct answer in the next session. All right, so this is all from my side. Thank you so much for all the students, and as I have told you, the link for registration to Vedantu Pro subscription is mentioned in the description box of this video, as well as in the pinned comment. Coupon code is GPE Pro. All right, so these are the three plans you have guys: Pro Lite, Pro Classic, Pro Plus. So Pro Lite has has all the features of the plans which I have told you till now: live classes, test series, notes, study material, and doubt solving. In Pro Classic, you get one extra feature, that is doubt solving after the class also. That means doubt solving on mobile app. So whenever you are studying and you get any doubt, you can quickly click the photo of the doubt, and you can post it on the mobile app, and you will get solution for it. In Pro Plus, It has the feature of all the features of Pro Classic. That means doubt solving on mobile app is also there, and Pro Lights feature also are there. Plus personal mentor, you'll be provided with personal mentor. So personal mentor you can think of as your teacher, guide, supporter, motivator, anything you want, anything you require, any doubt you have, be it academic, non-academic, they will be the first person to take care of your doubts, and will make sure that you throughout this year stay comfortable and focus on your goal. All right, so if you are new to this online education, you can try all these three courses for 1 month, and once you are satisfied, you can buy the complete course. Also, for the complete course, EMI option is also there. Don't forget to apply the coupon code GPE Pro. All right, guys, and remember, these prices, under these price, you are not only getting say one time syllabus coverage. You can attend, you can cover a syllabus as many times as you want because of unlimited micro courses. So it's up to you how many times you want to study, whatever you want to study, you can do this. Also, Vedantu improvement promise beta, simple. We take the full ownership of your improvement. We say if you do not show improvement in your marks, take the whole course feedback. Only thing is, you must be a student of our long-term batch. Second thing, attend at least 75% of the classes and 75% of the test. We are not saying attend 100% because we know sometimes it happens like you have some personal work or anything. That is why 75% of the classes and 75% of the test, if you're attending, we take the full ownership of your studies. And if not, if you don't improve, take the whole course feedback. All right, guys. So these are the best starting dates. Quickly register for Vedantu Pro subscription, and I'll see you soon in the classes. So thank you so much, guys. I hope all of you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you soon in the next class. All right. Till then, bye bye. Sayonara, Khuda Hafiz to all of you. Bye bye.